What's up, guys? My name is Rebel. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Rebel here, and for today's episode, we got the kill streaks in Modern Warfare. So, let's get into it.
On your feet, soldier! We are leaving!
So what's up? How we all doing? Hope we're all having a wonderful day today. So now that I've kind of gotten what I wanted to accomplish in Modern Warfare, it's time for me to just dissect every little thing about it and just rip it to shreds and overanalyze everything, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So to start, I would like to say that because of my very, very cluttery and unorganized way of recording gameplay, I did not know what I had any of these kill streaks in before. So I had to go and capture all new gameplay with all of these kill streaks, and with score-based matchmaking, skill-based matchmaking, I had to get a gunship and an advanced UAV. In fact, I had an advanced UAV, and then somehow the gameplay accidentally deleted itself, so I had to do it again. Yeah, this was pretty fun. Okay, so first I kind of want to break down kill streaks versus score streaks. Which do I prefer? I prefer score streaks. I like being rewarded for also playing the objective, but kills give you as much score as should be relevant to if it was just kill streak. So you're still getting that amount of score from kills, at least in most games, not in COD World War II. Remember when it was like, what was it, 50 or 75 for a kill in Domination? Yeah, that was strange. But in general, I feel like kill streaks make the players just focus on kills and less on the objective, unless you're running Point Man to get points. But even still, Point Man in this game does not give you an equal amount of points as it does score, so it's not a score streak, it's a point streak, and the points are worth less than the score. However, Point Man is incredibly useful for getting those higher streaks, and so is Kill Chain. Kill Chain means the kills you get from other kill streaks in the same life count towards your next streak, so you get a cruise missile, you get kills with that goes to your next streak. Point Man, I mean, if you can, like, I was playing on Ground War with Point Man to get some of the higher end streaks, and I was running to E, then getting to D, getting both capture points, getting a couple kills, getting up to about 600, getting a cruise missile, running back to the home base and shooting score streaks out of the sky, dropping a cruise missile, calling the VTOL until I could get the higher end streaks. It makes it a lot easier to get some of these streaks if you use Point Man or Kill Chain to your advantage, because without them, getting high-end streaks in this game is insanely hard, because I constantly run at like just around a 1 KD. If I do really good, go really positive, I go really negative the next round, but usually I'm getting like 29 to 26, 29 to 29, 29 to 31. I'm somewhere around that ballpark, so I'm gonna stay in the same lobbies and fight people the same skill level as me and not be able to only get a VTOL, what, one every 3 or 4 games maybe? Okay, I've rambled on long enough, so now let's get into it. And just so you know, I am not going to be ranking them. There's 19. I'll rate them. I'll give them an A, B, C, D, or F, or as I wrote, amazing, good, average, bad, terrible, which I guess is A, B, C, D, F. And I'll be sure to include any tips that I have for any of these. There are a couple that I do have some tips for, just like 1 or 2 maybe. But anyways, let's get into it. Starting in at the 3 kill streaks, we got the personal radar, or your very own UAV. Now with this, you cannot have 2 of them active yourself, yet despite that, when you're running, you will take the hand off of your weapon to whistle, and it will say personal radar already active. Yet for some reason, even though I can't call it in, I still do this and am forced to hip fire, which usually results in my death. And yet, despite constantly dying from hip fire whistling because I already have one in the air while I'm trying to call it in, it's still an okay streak at a 3 kill streak. And since they went ahead and balanced the perks and took overkill from a perk 1 tree to the perk 2 tree, I am seeing more people run overkill as opposed to ghost, meaning that these UAVs and personal radars are going to be a lot more useful now than when they were at the start of the game. So what am I gonna rate this thing? I get a B. B plus. B plus. It's good. It's almost amazing. At 2 kills, if you're running hardline, this is great. This is amazing if you're running hardline and this is only gonna cost you 2 kills. Then it's wonderful. At 3 kills, it's a little high. And it would be fine at 3 kills if they could just make you throw multiple ones into the air and not force you to take your hands off of your gun and hip fire even though you're not calling one in. And because of that, mainly because of the whistle thing, this is not a go-to kill streak for me. Also in the 3 kill streak, we got the shield turret, the heavy, awkward, useless death sentence. 95% of the time, I die just setting it down. It is destroyed in 1 shot, by shooting a rocket launcher in its general vicinity. It has a weird drift when you're aiming to where you just kind of tilt in one weird direction. They might have fixed it, and if they did, it's not going to help this thing at all. This thing is literally a hindrance. The shield turret is a hindrance. It costs you 3 kills. They could give this to me for free if it was a field upgrade or a secondary weapon or even a tactical grenade. I would literally never use it. It is that bad. And of course, it's getting an F. It has to get an F. This is quite possibly, I'm like 99.99% sure that this is the worst streak in any Call of Duty ever, period. And then we got the 4 kill streaks. And first up in this list, we got the CUAV, the classic scrambler. And what this does is it disables or scrambles the minimap up in the corner, and every in-game map on a screen gets scrambled. So I guess as an example, when you're using it and you pull out the counter UAV, you will get a one-time blip of every enemy on the map that doesn't have ghosts, unless they are running counter UAV, and then your mini-map will just be scrambled. Here's the first tip I have for a Scorestreak, and this is actually a pretty good tip, although now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know if I want people doing this because it's kind of annoying. So what you can do with the counter UAV is you can call in where it's placed, and what the game tells you is that its strength is based on where you put it. However, even on ground war maps, you could put it completely off as far into the distance as you can, and it'll have the same effect on enemy players of scrambling their minimap. So what my tip is never put the counter, unless you are in a rush and you have to button mash X or A or whatever, never just put it right above you, right above the center of the map. Put it behind their spawn, because they're gonna see it and they're gonna look up and be like, where is it? Who is gonna spawn in and turn around and be like, oh, it's over there? Nobody. And that makes them last so much longer. However, despite that, it's still getting a B. It's getting a good rating. It's not getting an A. It's not amazing because it actually doesn't really help you. It doesn't give you anything. It doesn't show you anything. It doesn't give you an advantage. It gives the enemies a disadvantage. You don't change. You gain nothing except that the enemy is more confused. That's it. And because of that, it just gets a B. And coming up next in the 4 kill streak category, we got the UAV, the very first streak in any Call of Duty. Probably. There's not much to say about this one. It's a UAV. And enemy blips show up on the map. After the perk balance, overkill is being used more than ghost, which means this thing, the UAV, is going to get a lot more blips on your map from here on out. So yes, it is better now than it used to be. And because of that, this thing is getting like an A-. It is the quintessential UAV. It is a UAV. There is nothing wrong with running it. It helps your team. It helps you. It helps map awareness. Through using it, you learn to play the maps better. It makes you a better player. It's one of the few kill streaks that is a passive ability that really does mentally teach you as you're playing. It shows you the heavy traffic areas where people are running to or going from or spawning at, and it kind of shows you more about the map that can be used without it in future contexts. Now, this is great with hardline in 6v6 maps. However, you never want to use a passive ability if you're running kill chain, so that's when you're not going to want to use this if you're running kill chain. Also, is there a delay on the blips? I feel like the data that this thing gives me is like off by like a second and a half sometimes. Like I see the blip right away and then the enemy is already like 10 meters that way, so I have no idea. Next up in the 4 kill streaks, we got the care package, or as I like to call it, the come kick my ass signal, because I don't know how, but this thing causes enemies to spawn within a 10-meter radius of you. It doesn't show you what's inside the care package, so you don't know if it's worth it to run out to where you called it to get it, or if the enemy team kills you and you want to know if you should run over there to get it back, or if it's just a shield turret. You don't know. In fact, the care package shows a little picture of the care package above the care package. I'm sorry, do I not know that it's a care package? So you have to put the same exact thing I'm looking at in a smaller image above the thing that I'm looking at. I know what it is. You don't have to put the thing above the thing and be like, hey, you see this box? It's a box. No shit. This thing has the lowest chance of giving you a high-end streak in any Call of Duty ever. And you can't re-roll it. There's no perk to re-roll it, which makes sense. You can't see what's inside it. But why did they get rid of that? And because of that, this thing gets I would give it a D-, but knowing that for some reason when I throw it down, even when I'm all the way in the back of my spawn on Gunrunner behind the warehouse, that their enemies are still running around there right after I throw the thing down, killing me and making me spawn on the complete other side of the map and stealing my care package. package, this thing gets an F. This thing gets an F, hands down. And it's mainly because of the bad streaks too. I mean, if I get a cluster strike or a cruise missile or precision airstrike, that's when I want to give it a D or a D minus. When I get a shield turret, that's why this thing gets an F. Moving on to the 5 kill streaks, we got the cluster strike, or the laser pointer of death. Rarely. You point a laser and then there's like 5 weak explosions. This thing rarely ever gets kills unless I'm super lucky, but what it will do is hold an area, it will clear an area and keep the enemy team from coming on that area. They'll probably run off and won't die, but yeah, so I guess it's situational. If you're playing hardpoint and you want to hold off the hardpoint and it's outdoors, this is an okay. It's an okay. I'd probably give it a C, C+. However, sadly, it just gets a D. It gets a D because it's weaker than the precision airstrike. It lasts longer, but I feel like it gets me less kills than any of the other 5 kill streaks, so this one gets a D. Moving on in the 5 kill streak category, we got the cruise missile. No funny pun, this is the best lowest kill streak in the game, albeit it does have a really long pointless animation that I think is too long, but this thing very rarely doesn't get me a kill unless somebody kills the enemy that I was zooming in on and I can't change direction at the last minute. Then I'll get no kills. Usually I'm getting 2 to 3. I guess if I'm like, I got unlucky, I only got 1 kill. Normally I'm getting doubles or triple kills with this thing, even on 6v6 maps. This is one of the kill streaks to where if you're running kill chain and you get this at 5 or 4, you get a double or a triple kill with it, and if you get a triple, you already can call in a VTOL. This thing's really good. Also, here's another tip for you. The cruise missile can destroy most airstreaks in 1 shot. They got a VTOL up in the air, cruise missile. They got a chopper gunner in the air, cruise missile. They got support helo in the air, cruise missile. These are one of the things to where if you don't need to use it right away, you can save it for an enemy to call in a VTOL and just shoot that shit out of the sky right away. That's really handy, and this is something that makes this, not only is it guaranteed to get you more kills than a precision airstrike or cluster strike, you can destroy airborne streaks with it. You have that other added option in there. So hands down, that makes this the best 5 kill streak, the best lowest end kill streak, and this thing is getting an A rating. And last in the 5 kill streak, the precision airstrike. You feeling lucky, punk? Are ya? You shouldn't. You look through the goggles, you pick a spot on the map, and then there are 2 very big, powerful explosions. This thing will probably get you more kills than the cluster strike, maybe, but it's going to be on the initial 2 blasts right away. You really have to catch the people off guard, know that it's a heavily traveled area, but besides that, it's not situational. It's not going to be used for lane control or spot control. It's just hopefully by the time the airstrike comes in, that's where the enemies that you want to kill are, and then hopefully maybe you'll get a kill or 2, maybe. And because of that, this thing also gets a D. Same grade as the cluster strike. To me, they're interchangeable, really. It's weak, it's too high cost for what it gives you, and it rarely gets you any kills. Oh my god. Moving on to the 7 kill streaks, we got the IAV. Yes, the tank from Ground War. Powerful, large, slow, awkward. It's literally the tank from Ground War. I don't need to get into it that much. It's free. If you want to know what it's like, go get in one on Ground War. And because of what it is, it gets a C. It's weird. It would be okay and probably get you some kills, but it's going to be weird to call this in on a 6v6 map. So yeah, I mean, if you can call it in and you get some kills with it, you might be like, hey, this is a B. Let me tell you something. You ever call in a care package on Ground War and get one of these things? They're free in Ground War. What? This thing gets a C. Next in the 7 kill streak category, we got the Sentry Gun. It's like the shield turret, but not as terrible. It's slow, it's awkward to move around with, and I often die deploying it. The only difference is when I die deploying it, the Sentry Gun will actually have deployed where the shield turret is still in my inventory. As far as its damage resistance goes, this thing is as weak as the shield turret. They should call it the paper mache Sentry Gun. Is this thing made of paper? I swear, if you sneeze, fart, or someone opens a window, this thing is getting destroyed. But still, I give it a C. It can get you kills if you put it in a good spot. Not a lot of people run launchers, so they have to have a lethal for it. They have to get the lethal close enough to actually hit it. I don't know. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's not terrible. It gets a C. It would be a higher, but it's too fragile and it's too slow to lay down. If this thing just went down instantly, and if it took 2 shots to destroy it, it'd probably get a B, honestly. And lastly, in the 7 kill streak category, we got the Wheelson. It's an RC tank. Cool little RC tank. It's fun, it's powerful, it's slow, and it's got low fuel, especially for the size of maps in Modern Warfare. The maps in this game are just too big to actually be able to traverse to useful areas with this thing easily. And this thing is downright useless in ground war unless you are literally surrounded by a bunch of enemies, because you're gonna run out of fuel just going from the B flag to the C flag. But still, this thing gets a B because it's downright fun to use and it's pretty powerful. It would be getting an A rating, and you probably are like, well, I used it in Shipment or Shoot House. That's where it's gonna get an A rating. If every map was the size of Shoot House, this thing would be getting an A, hands down. But because the maps are too big and there's too much open space on them, it gets a B. Now moving on to the 8 kill category, we got the emergency airdrop. The terrible care package, terrible care package, terrible care package. That's it. Same problem as the care packages. You can't see inside. They spawn enemies right behind you. Terrible chances at high-end streaks, and you can't re-roll them. Plus, with the emergency airdrop, you are going to lose 1 or 2 of them out of bounds because you can't control where the other 2 drop in. If you're in ground war, you'll be fine, but on 6v6 maps, I was dropping this and maybe retrieving 1. If I was lucky, I'd get 2. If I was really lucky, I'd get all 3. And because of that, this thing gets an F also. This thing costs 8 kills, and it's basically just the shitty care package 3 times. Like, I'm gonna try to get 8 kills so I can get a shield turret, a personal UAV, and a cluster strike. And second in the 8 kill streak category, we got the VTOL. This is the best kill streak in the game. There's an initial strike on the map followed by air coverage. You can call it to your current position. You can have it continue to follow you, which is great on ground war, because if you're all the way at D or C, you can call this thing on to B, get like a double or a triple kill, and then when it comes back around to get air control, you can call it over to your location and have it support you. Remember when this thing would shoot through roofs during the beta? What? Honestly, this thing gets an A. It gets an A+. This thing is best in the class. Valedictorian of the kill streaks. The initial strike can get you doubles and triple kills. It will get you double and triple kills unless you call it into a really bad spot. And then the air coverage on average will get you 2 to 5 kills. This thing is beastly. And for an 8 or a 7 kill streak, this is hands down the best kill streak in the game. And being that it's only 8 or 7 kills, you kill chain this from a cruise missile, you get a 5 kill streak, and you get the best kill streak in the game by chaining it with another one. It's amazing. It's beastly. Moving on to the 10 kill streak, we got the white phosphorus, the cause of many SJW tears and this terrible article. Somebody's completely out of touch with reality. So this is very, very weak. It disrupts your teammates' vision. It disrupts your teammates' vision. It disrupts your teammates' vision. Why? I've only ever gotten kills with this on the initial drop of it, and then once or twice from someone who is so stupid that they just walked into the flare burning on the ground. This thing gets an F. It costs 10 kills to get this. It costs you 10 kills to screw with your teammates' visibility. The kills are very rare. It would probably give it a D, but it literally hinders you and your teammates. F. And second in the 10 kill streak category, we got the chopper gunner. You plus helicopter plus machine guns. This is a very powerful kill streak, and you can not only control it, you can steer it around the map. You can drive it to where you want to be, and so if you're over here and they're all hiding on that side of the building, you just hover onto that side of the building. It's amazing. Oops, I already gave you the rating for it. It's a beast, and it is exactly what you would expect from a controllable airborne kill streak. It gets an A. So many kills from this thing, and it's only 10 kills compared to the white phosphorus, which is an F. This thing is an A, and if you can chain this from a VTOL, you're gonna dominate the lobby. Moving on to the 11 kill streak, we got the support Helo. It's the VTOL, but worse, and it costs more. This is it's a weaker chopper gunner that you can't control yourself. I'm pretty sure this thing only has 2 mounted machine guns on it. It does not have the missiles that the chopper gunner has, so it costs 2 more kills, and it's actually a weaker support vehicle than the chopper gunner. Now, I do understand that it has to be weaker than the chopper gunner because this is a support streak, meaning that you can still run and gun while this thing is in the air. However, for the cost, you will get an average of no kills. You might get 2 kills if you're lucky, and it's still going to be destroyed in about 10 seconds. This thing gets an F. It almost never gets you kills. It's way too weak, and it costs 11 kills. Worse than the VTOL. It's supposed to be the same thing, and it costs 3 more kills than that, and 2 more than the chopper gunner. This thing, it gets an F. But hey, why don't you let me know if you've ever gotten more than 2 kills from a single support helo. Moving on to the 10 kill streaks, we got the Gunship. It's the AC-130 that we all know and love. Rockets, machine guns, missile launchers. It's a little slow to reload and a slower cycle time than I feel was in past Call of Duties, but that's okay because it's so powerful. If you can call in the AC-130, you are just constantly splooging death onto everybody on the enemy team, and it's amazing. It's fun in ground war, but I feel like it's not as precise in ground war. It doesn't result in as many kills as you think it would in ground war, but oh my god, it still gets you a bunch of kills. It's still so fun to use, and I gotta give it an A. I gotta rate it an A. Look, it's the AC-130, okay? Its default setting is amazing. Infinity Ward would have had to try really hard to ruin this kill streak. I mean, it's an AC-130. This is why Chris Smoove dubbed it the ass clapper 130. I mean, come on. And next in the 10 kill streak category, we got the advanced UAV. Yeah, that's right, Vonderhaar, we don't need your bloody VSAT. Now this thing shows constant enemy arrows on the mini marker. It's like your team's blue arrows, but they're all red. And it turns Ghost, people using Ghost, into just a standard UAV blip. And you know, this should be a great streak. This should be getting an A. It only lasts 28 seconds. With people playing this game so slow, 28 seconds is nowhere near enough time to use an advanced UAV. It costs 12 kills. It costs 12 kills to last 28 seconds. 12 kills, the same cost as the AC-130. So your choice for 12 kills is 10 kills from an AC-130, or maybe you get 2 kills from an advanced UAV. The advanced UAV, it gets a D. This thing gets a D rating from me. Because what it does great. It just lasts too short, it costs too much, and you're competing with much better choices. Look, you should only be using this thing if you're really good, if you're playing in ground war, and I guess maybe if you're trying to only get gun kills. And on top of that, with the way the meta works, I mean, do you know how many? This is the game of shoot first, die first. I could be pre-aiming and start firing because I know an enemy is going to be coming around in a corner due to the advanced UAV, and there is like a 50% chance I am still going to die. This thing gets a D-. And then coming in at 15 kills, we got the Jug Suit. I didn't get any gameplay of this. I have gameplay of this, and it's going to be in a little link that's popping up right there. I'm not doing that again. I had one of these that I called in get stuck on the catwalk on Shoot House. So basically, the Jug Suit gives you a bunch of HP, armor, and a minigun, and a cool metal soundtrack that plays in the background while you're running around in this thing. It's pretty badass, and it'll get you a lot of kills. The only thing is, the only way out of this is death. The only way to leave the Jug Suit is death. If you are trying to get a nuke, if you are trying to drop a tactical nuke, don't use the Jug Suit because you won't be able to. The Jug Suit kills don't count, and the only way to get out of the Jug Suit is dying and ending the streak that got you to a Jug Suit, so you'll never be able to get a nuke unless you get the nuke and then call in the Jug Suit. Yeah, it costs 15 kills, which in this game is a novelty streak. It's just a novelty streak. It's not meant to actually be used or useful. I mean, it's pretty useful because it's pretty powerful, but it's just a novelty streak. You could tell by the metal music. It's a novelty. But still, I'm gonna give it a B. I'm gonna give it like a B minus because oh my god, it's so fun to use. It is so much fun to use. It's so much fun to use, and it feels amazing. I would be giving it an A, but let's be honest. It costs 15 kills. When are you ever gonna earn this? Exactly. So to summarize, the streaks that I really like in this game: personal UAV, counter UAV, UAV, cruise missile, Wheelson, VTOL, chopper gunner, gunship. Those are the good streaks. Those are the good and great streaks in the game. Those are the ones that you want to be focusing on unless the game is making you focus on something else. Things I would recommend: you could run personal UAV, UAV cruise missile. I think I normally run UAV cruise missile VTOL, but I'm not running kill chain or anything. And if I get the VTOL, I get a VTOL. If I get the cruise missile, missile, I'll try to save it to destroy somebody else's VTOL. But if you're running kill chain, you're going to want to run the cruise missile to either the Wheelson or the VTOL, and then from there you're going to want to chain it to either the chopper gunner or the AC-130. And that's how you see people getting a VTOL and then getting a chopper gunner. They get the VTOL, they get a cruise missile, probably get one more kill, get a VTOL, call in the VTOL while they're hiding, and then call in the chopper gunner. That's how you do it. Oh my god, this is so long. Overall, I'm unimpressed at the kill streaks in Modern Warfare. I'm unimpressed. With skill-based matchmaking, the streaks in this game are a lot harder to earn than they've been in other Call of Duty. I mean, you can't even really earn the high-end streaks through care packages and running, re-rolling the care packages to get the higher streaks, which used to be one of the ways that I would rely on to get the higher streaks because I love care packages. I never run them in this game, not anymore. These would be good. They would actually be good kill streaks if this was a normal Call of Duty meta. But they changed the meta and didn't anticipate that they would have to rebalance everything else like kill streaks, and thus you have a VSAT that only lasts 28 seconds on maps that take you 28 seconds to get from behind A to B. Like they have the A flag and then a big building behind A, and then you spawn in behind that building. You run from behind A to B, and that takes you 28 seconds. Your teammate's VTOL did nothing. What? Also, it could also work not only if the meta was back to normal, it would also work if every single kill streak in this game cost 1, 2, or 3 kills less. Personal radar should cost 2. UAV should cost 3. VTOL should probably cost like 6. Maybe 5. Jug Suit should probably cost 12. White Phosphorus should probably cost 7. All of these should be rebalanced to know that in skill-based matchmaking, people like me who are playing against other people like me aren't going to be getting mercilesses every single game. So I don't know, but I am unimpressed with these. Was there a clip of somebody saying, oh, these are the most intense kill streaks in Call of Duty? Bullshit. Seriously, was that a quote that somebody said, or was that for Black Ops? They said these are going to be the most devastating score streaks ever. It might have been Black Ops 4, but I have a feeling they said it for this, in which case you are completely wrong. You know. And that's gonna wrap this one up. Thanks for watching. Smash that like button, hit that sub button, gently click that notification bell, all of that other wonderful good stuff. Honestly, before I was writing this, I completely forgot about the Ass Clapper 130. I'm glad I remembered that. That's hilarious. It is still, even in Modern Warfare, it is still the Ass Clapper 130. And until next time, peace. You know, I am getting an insane idea right here. Hold the phone. I have not used the pop filter because I don't get close enough to my mic anymore. But oh my god, I think I just got a genius idea. So I don't have to keep reaching for my paper. You can go ahead and hang. I don't care. I'm gonna tilt that like that, and then boom. I can set my paper on it. Oh, look at that. Yeah. Got a pop filter table for my notes. I'm insane. In case you're curious as to how serious I am about my notes and shit, I am insane. Gun kills. What are you doing? I'm still using this. Computer goes into sleep mode. Hey, you're not using me. I'm just gonna go to sleep. No. Wrong.